It's a Wednesday. That means it's supernatural news and Parashare right here on the big program. We call it Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. In with us, of course, we got to have a co-host. We have the co-host with the most, the BCB, the big cuddly bear himself, Beer City, Bruiser. How you doing, Bruiser?
I'm doing good. Hello, world. I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm tired. You know how it is.
Aw, well, yeah, I know how it is.
I'm back to the grind, and I guess gotta get used to being back to the grind.
That's exactly what it is. You just got to get back into the swing of things, buddy. It's one of them things. I do want to start off on a little bit of a little sad note, and then we'll pick it up from there. Quite a few people on our social media had sent out prayers and thoughts and energy for Jewel Carter. A good friend of mine. She's like a second mama to me. Unfortunately, Jewel passed away last night, which would have been Monday night as we taped this. She had fallen and she had broken her skull, and she had bruised both her frontal lobes. Jewel had a tough time of it after that. But I know I hadn't updated people because I didn't want it to seem real dire. We were really hoping that she was going to hang in there. She had some swelling and bruising in the frontal lobes. The bleeding had staved off for a day or two. It had come back, and then they put a drain in, and they had sedated her after they put the drain in. After that drain had been put in, and they removed the drain, after that sedation, she never woke up.
Okay.
And
well, at least she went peacefully.
She did, and then it came to a point where they put her into hospice, hoping that some things would happen. Jewel fought for a long time. There were some signs that maybe she might be, she was still responding to outside stimuli.
Right.
But they did a test. She scored only 4 out of 15 on that test. And it was at that point the doctors had asked if they could pull her oxygen. And when they did, she only lived for a few minutes. So.
Do you want to be hooked up to machines? If that would ever happen to you?
I don't know. That it's such a...
It's a hard conversation to have. And I recently just had it with Papa Bruiser.
Yeah.
Papa Bruiser's last hospital stay, he didn't think he was going to make it. He was just, and this was a while ago. And we had to have that long, hard conversation, which I'm sure you and I have had it with our parents. Every listener out there's probably had it, where it's like, okay, I'm switching you to medical power of attorney.
Okay.
Mrs. Bruiser was that for her father. So when her father passed away, she's the one that had to say, hey, stop what you're doing. And my Papa Bruiser's like, if I'm gone, I don't want one machine hooked up to me. Just let me go.
Okay.
And he knows that my mother and my brother and sister couldn't do that. And it's just, that's a hard conversation to have, but it's one that you have to have. So I feel for your buddy.
Yeah.
Because that's not an easy decision.
What was really cool was Max had his wits about him the entire time. And Max's dad went quite a few years ago with a heart ailment. And he's really deep in his faith and knew that, he even said it himself, Daddy needed Mama more than I did. And just was reserved to the fact that she was in pain. They had to administer morphine the entire time she was here. At least her body was here, because she was in that much pain. So he really was mature about the whole process.
I admire people like that, real strong in their faith, and I find it inspirational. Mark Briscoe, he was that way. Yeah. When Jamin passed away. Same with Mama and Papa Briscoe. Yeah. And I find that so inspirational, and I hope that if it ever comes to be my time where I have to be in the position they were in, I could be that strong. And you know what I mean? Because they're still grieving. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to take away the fact. I'm not trying to make him sound like a monster. You know what I mean? They still grieve.
Right.
But able to make good decisions and not rely on outside stimuli to feel good. You know what I mean? Not to go down that dark path that a lot of people go down. You know,
and that is part of that decision is there's two sides to this, and let's just talk frank for a moment. There's two sides to this. One is spiritual fear. If I disconnect this person, is there really anything on that other side? Am I snuffing them out for good? And that's a real concern to some people, because some people who do not have faith that there is anything on that other side, you're terminally ending a life. That's it. And I know that's an oxymoron, terminally ending a life. I get it, folks. You don't have to email me. But I mean, that's forever, you're done to some people. To others who do have a strong base of faith, that's not the end. It's just a transition.
Yeah.
And to them, it's okay. It's not as bad as you would think it would be. In fact, it's a mercy. And then there's those in the middle that go, well, but I'm having a hard time because physically that person's not going to be with me anymore. And I feel like if I have just a few more moments, but you have a few more moments of what?
Exactly.
And that middle ground is also this. This also exists in that middle ground, Bruiser. And I've seen it for myself. I've been a part of it myself. There's also the chance of a small miracle. And I feel the eyes rolling right now on some people in the audience. But I've been a part of that miracle at one time. I just last week, one of my classmates that I graduated with died from complications of sepsis.
Okay.
I've had sepsis and lived, and it's a crapshoot. Sepsis kills a little over 50% of its patients. Right. So I got away with it. Yeah. And my classmate didn't. Yeah. So you have to say to yourself, well, what made me luckier than her?
See, but if you start thinking that way, you're going to have survivor's guilt.
But no. There's no guilt there. There's no guilt there. But because I had damn good doctors. I really did. I had damn good nurses. But I can also say to myself, well, maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe I had things to do. It's not that she didn't, because she had a family and she had things to do as well. But the fact of the matter remains is you have to also ask yourself that question. So that question is there. There's that middle ground is what I'm saying with people when it comes to time to make that decision. Is there the chance? Yeah. And do I take that chance? Maybe, just maybe, if I wait another day or two, something could turn around. Now, the doctors will tell you what the odds are. And like Han Solo says, never tell me the odds, right?
Yeah, and they're going off the scientific. They don't go off faith. They go off scientific evidence.
Right. Unfortunately for Mama, she went off the oxygen and that was it. But Max did tell me, well, her breathing is so labored right now, even with the oxygen. And when you say that to somebody, I mean, I knew when he said, well, her breathing is so labored right now. And even when she was on the oxygen, I said to intern Yoko, I give her 48 hours the minute they pull oxygen. I just,
you gotta look at too, how much damage was done to her brain that if she did pull through,
she wouldn't have.
What would she be like after?
Her quality of life would have been nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've met people that have had traumatic brain and they've pulled through and they're just a different person. Yeah. And that's how the brain works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would think life for Max would have been traumatic. Can you imagine being, and he's such a loving son. A doting son. If you're a mother out there and you couldn't wish for a better son than Max, you just couldn't. He takes such good care of her. He's there for her in every sense of the word. But to be there, standing there, and your own mother doesn't recognize you from minute to minute.
I saw what it did when my great-grandfather had dementia really bad. Yeah. And the family would go visit, and he knew my mom, but out of the whole family, that's the only person he knew.
Yeah.
And I could see in my grandmother, who was his daughter, I could see it in her face that was just tearing her up inside.
It is. And for anybody, any family that has someone who suffers from dementia or Alzheimer's, it's torture. It's absolute torture. So I don't wish that on anyone. So I don't think, and as especially close as they were, I don't think I think it would have just absolutely tore him up inside.
Oh, yeah.
So there's never such a thing as a good death.
No.
You know?
I've had this discussion with my children because, there's that time when you lose a family member or one of their friends lose a family member and you have to have the death talk with your kids. Everyone worries about having a sex talk with your kids. Try to have a death talk with your kids. That's even worse because you have to explain to them what death is. But I've explained to them, I go, there's no good way of death. Either if it's quick, it's still death. If it's prolonged, it's still death. It's still loss. And I said to them, what you have to learn how to grieve.
Yes. And
you need to learn how to take care of yourself while you're grieving. And you need to learn how to celebrate the person that has left us.
Yes.
And when my father-in-law passed away, that was their first major hit to all of them. My son they were best friends. They were two peas in a pod. And to this day, it still affects my son. My son still, when he makes decisions, thinks, what would Bubba think? And in fact, I was just talking to him the other day, and he had said, Dad, I didn't know grieving would be so hard. He's like, I still have moments. And I told him, I said, you're always going to have those moments because you're always going to have memories. Your memories don't go away.
Right, yeah.
A smell will come into the room, or a song will come on the radio, or you'll visit a place, and that memory gets triggered. And for a second there, you have that sadness because that person's not there.
Yeah.
I said, just as long as you keep doing what you're doing and be strong, you're going to be fine, and celebrate his life and tell the stories about them and tell the world how great they were.
Yeah. Yep. So today's show we'll dedicate to Jewel. We'll have some fun because she loved to laugh. Boy, did she love to laugh. She was a character. So we're gonna have some fun for Jewel today. And Jewel was for years and years and years. She was a school lunch lady there in Arkansas, and she loved her kids and she loved the people that in her community, and she was full of life. So we're gonna have some fun today. That's for sure.
So Adam Sandler wrote a song about her, huh?
Yes, he did. That was her. He wrote the song about.
The fun now.
Yeah. So, and the only thing I'm really sad about is she didn't get to enjoy her retirement. She just retired last year. So, yeah, I wish.
That's the worst.
I wish we would have got her up here to Minneapolis, and we would have got her out for that steak dinner and took her out on the town and went shopping and stuff like that. Never got to do that. So, but but she's reunited now with her husband, which is, I think, probably for the best. So
they were soulmates for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now they get to spend eternity together.
Absolutely. Bruiser, we got a show today, buddy.
That's what you were saying off air. Said we got a packed show, huh?
We have a packed show. We're going to dig into the congressional hearings from last week. I know they took place after we had already taped last week.
Yeah.
And explosive hearings they were last week. Some things were said that got swept under the rug. Some things about, and a lot of things that UFO, some people came out last week. I'm going to jump around a little bit here. In my mind, I want to go in 14 different directions here. So I'm going to try and streamline my thoughts real quick. There were some things that were said in these hearings, and you can read the transcripts online, that you have some people out in the paranormal field right now who are going, oh, I said that 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? There's always I told you so. I knew that.
Yeah.
Then you have people going, wait a minute. Oh, what did they say? And it's the general public that are going, oh, wait a minute. Oh, what did they say?
Yeah.
And then there's some new stuff that's coming out that's like, holy shnikes, really? And it just happened just when? There was one thing in the transcript, and I think I had told you about it the other day. A giant red cube, I think it was the size of a football field, and it was just a year or two ago, hovered over a military base.
Yep.
And wasn't included in the congressional record up until last week.
Which blows my mind because it was the size of a football field.
Right.
Like, how do you miss that?
Didn't get reported on the news.
Right.
Nobody was scrambled to DEFCON anything.
No.
But it just sat over a military base.
Yep.
And now we're hearing about it.
And now everybody's like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What happened?
And in most countries, that's the hugest alarm. I know, bad English, Tim. Biggest alarm you can get, because that's almost an act of war.
When I was at training last night, training the future of professional underwater needlepoint, one of the students came up and goes, "Bruiser, you do that paranormal podcast. You're into paranormal stuff. Did you hear about that giant cube over the base?" I said, "Yeah, it happened a year ago. We kind of reported on it already." He went, "Wait, what, a year ago?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "That's old news, man."
Yeah.
He goes, "Wait, this thing's been around for a year and we're just now hearing about it?" I said, "Yeah." And the fear in his eyes.
Yeah. There, and the thing that the media is stuck on right now is the non-human entities that have been recovered from these crash retrievals. They keep sitting on that non-human entities. And this is why, Bruiser, and I maintain this, I've heard this so much from different friends and Facebook friends and social media friends, and even people in the general public who go, "Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I knew that. Well, I'm ready for it." You are not ready. You are not ready. And this is the scenario I bring up every single time, Bruiser. You're ready until something 10 feet tall is standing in front of you and it's angry. And it wants its bodies back. And it's ready to eviscerate you from head to tail.
Look at the fear in those guys in Las Vegas with that 911 call.
Yeah.
And they sounded like pretty cool cats, but now it's 10 feet tall and it's 5 feet away from them. And now all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute.
It's landed in your backyard playing with your backhoe, and now you want the military out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just give them their bodies back. Yep. I don't want them to be in my yard anymore.
Yeah, you're not ready. Nobody's ready. That's the thing. And I laugh when people are like, "Oh yeah, I'd go up and shake hands with them, have a beer with them, I'd talk to them." No, you wouldn't. You would crap yourself.
Nope. And I would find a bush to hide in and stare at them from a distance. I'd be that creepy guy standing around the tree like, "Oh, yeah, wonder what they're doing."
Yeah.
And if they look at me, I'd just duck right away. Like, "Oh, nope, didn't see me."
Most people would. And that's the fight or flight response. You're either going to pull out a beer and a shotgun and start firing, and that's probably why we don't interact with them very much.
Right.
Or you're going to just hide behind something and you're going to observe.
Yep.
You're not doing anything. That's the thing about it. So
you're doing what those guys did. You're going to call 911 and get an official out here.
That's right.
To take care of it.
That's right. Well, that congressional hearing on UFOs was held last Wednesday by the Republican-led House Oversight Committee, and it's the third such hearing to be held in just 18 months. The hearing is only the third of its kind to be held in the last 50 years. Think about that.
Yeah.
The third in 50 years. Prior to the most recent hearings held in consecutive years, no open congressional hearings on the UFO phenomenon has been held since the days of Project Blue Book, a government study on UFOs that ran from 1952 to 1969. 3 witnesses were interviewed by the committee, including government insider 36-year-old David Charles Grush, who said, "I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program to which I was denied access." Grush is a decorated former combat officer in Afghanistan and is a veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, or NGA, and the National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO, and served as the Reconnaissance Office's representative to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force from 2019 to 2021, and then from late 2021 to July of 2022, he was the NGA's co-lead for UAP analysis and its representatives to the task force. The UAPTF was later replaced by AARO, which is conducting those meetings. AARO is short for All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. UAP is the current government nomenclature for UFO, by the way, so you don't get messed up while we're talking about this. I'm sorry.
What I love about his comment there was when he said the reverse engineering and all that. Goes back to, is it Bob Lazar, I believe, was the one that came out? And he's been telling us that for, 10 years now?
The meme is all over social media with Bob standing there saying, I was right. Yep. Grush, who has since turned whistleblower, said that information regarding the recovered craft has been illegally withheld from Congress, and he has filed a complaint alleging that he has been the victim of illegal retaliation for his confidential disclosures. He described the retaliation as very brutal. It hurt me both professionally and knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured as part of government efforts to conceal information on UFOs, and that he had feared for his life as a result. He went on to say, quote, I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency. Grush told the committee that recoveries of materials up to and including intact vehicles have been made for decades and continue to be made by the U.S. government, its allies, and defense contractors. Interesting.
Yeah.
Furthermore, he said, analysis performed on these materials has determined that they are of exotic origin, in other words, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin, based on the vehicle morphologies and material science testing, and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures. Grush also talked about the recovery of non-human entities from UFO crash retrievals. Grush went on to say, as I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. He added that these biologics, that's in quotes, were non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge of the program I talked to that are currently still on the program. Grush was unwilling to go into detail on some of the previously made claims, such as U.S. government possession of a very large, like a football field kind of size craft mentioned in an interview with News Nation, or a bell-like craft discussed with French newspaper Le Parisien, citing issues of security. Instead, he told the committee that he would be willing to elaborate in private. We actually have audio that explains a little bit of this with Representative Tim Burch. We'll get into it in a second. While Grush has not seen any of the alleged alien craft or entities himself, he said his claims are based on extensive interviews with high-level intelligence officials. The Pentagon has denied Grush's claims of a cover-up. Sue Gao, who is a spokeswoman for AARO, said in a statement that the office has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. She added that the department is committed to timely and thorough reporting to Congress. Also interviewed were David Fravor, who is the former Navy commander who recalled seeing a UFO during the filming of the now infamous USS Nimitz Tic Tac encounter off the coast of California in 2004, and Ryan Graves, an FA-18 Super Hornet pilot and 10-year Navy veteran who is now retired, who claimed that UFOs were a regular occurrence off the Atlantic coast every day for at least a couple of years, and that's a quote from him. The hearing continues the interest that Congress has shown in UFOs over the past several years, beginning back in 2017 when news broke of the Pentagon's secretive UFO project, now, or rather known then as the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, or AATIP. Congressman Tim Burchett, who is co-leading the congressional investigation into UFOs, told Newsweek earlier this year that he believes we have recovered a craft at some point and possible beings. Now, I have an interview here with Tim Burchett from TMZ.
Okay.
With some, to put it mildly, explosive information about the hearings, about David Grush, and about why they can't get more information out of Grush, having to do with, I'll just call it alien bodies. We'll skip the non-human origin stuff. We know what it is.
Yeah.
Why they can't get information on people who have been killed as a result of the information they have. Because this is one of the things Tim Burchett wants. He wants names of people who have been killed.
Yeah.
In this rather explosive audio, what we're about to play, he says why there's so much pushback and why he thinks exactly there's pushback.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. Now, keep in mind, and I'm not throwing aspersions on one party or another, but Tim Burchett is a Republican from his state that states some very alarming things. He's not bought and paid for by any committee. He's not bought and paid for by any PAC out there or anybody lobbying Congress. And you can tell because he says some pretty inflammatory things towards the energy companies out there.
He just wants this. He just wants the truth out there. He just wants it out.
He does, and he says some interesting things here. I'm going to play the audio, and then let's talk about it afterwards. Okay. I think you're going to find this very interesting. Here's Representative Tim Burchett talking to Charles and the TMZ crew about the hearings and why he couldn't get more information out of Charles Grush. Here it is.
Here is what he questioned David Grush about yesterday.
Has the U.S. government become aware of actual evidence of extraterrestrial, otherwise unexplained forms of intelligence? And if so, when do you think this first occurred?
I like to use the term non-human. I don't like to denote origin. Keeps the aperture open, both scientifically. Right. Certainly, like I've discussed publicly previously, 1930s.
Do you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes. Personally.
Have anyone been murdered that you would think that you know of or have heard of, I guess?
I have to be careful asking that question. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
So, look, this is a seismic development, the fact that this question was asked and answered that way.
Right. So without further ado, let's bring in Congressman Burchett. Welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey, thank y'all. I'm a big fan, and this is a big honor for me.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Likewise, you were questioning an intelligence officer who said that there were non-human-made aircraft that crashed on Earth. There were pilots of that aircraft that were recovered. And then you asked if there was any evidence of anybody who knew about this who might have been harmed or even murdered. And you now say that you had already spoken with him and you knew the answer to that. I have two questions for you. Number one, do you have evidence of somebody or people being murdered who were potential whistleblowers? And my second question is, that intelligence officer clearly was saying, I want to tell you guys, I'll lead you to the right authorities. Is Congress pursuing that? So I have two questions. One, do you have that evidence regarding murders? And two, is Congress following up to investigate that very thing that the intelligence officer said?
Those two things are tied together. If you noticed, he said in some of his answers, I cannot tell you in this setting. So what he's saying is we have to go to the skiff, which is basically a lead-lined room. You can't take a cell phone in, and then you get briefed on top secret stuff. And so we have to get him in the skiff so he can tell us that stuff. He is a very much by the rules guy, and I don't want to I don't want to get him in trouble or me in trouble. Now, here's the rub. We tried to get in a skiff with David Grush, And we were told no, because he does not have security clearance, which is bogus. So we're making an official request to Speaker McCarthy, who's been very kind, who I went to say, I want to have this hearing. And he's the one that green lighted it to Chairman Comer. And that's why we ended up having this meeting. So those two are tied together. And it's just, it's like whack-a-mole, man. You hit that thing and another one pops up. So we're trying to get that. We've got a letter going to the Speaker. It's a bipartisan issue. Myself, Matt Gaetz, Representative Luna, Jared Moskowitz, Democrat. I'm a Republican. This is a bipartisan issue, and so we're trying to start to get down that road, and we'll get him in the skiff, and we're going to ask those questions because he knows literally where the bodies are, but he also knows where the craft are. So honestly, if you got a craft from outer space and it crashes here, something had to be driving it, or steering it or what have you. So I think we've got it's a multifaceted answer.
Congressman, since you started talking about this, you have been contacted by a lot of people. Is it fair to say that you have gotten feedback or recon on this issue from people?
Why don't you ask me this? Have I seen stuff that you would not believe?
Well,
yes.
Yes. All right. That's a fair question.
And I'll even go farther and tell you this. I went, myself, Matt Gaetz, and Representative Luna went down to Eglin Air Force Base. We were told we were going to get to interview some of these pilots and see pictures of a craft. They literally said they had color pictures, video, this other stuff. We got down there in the skiff.
Did you see the pictures?
I have, yes, sir. But not the color, not the ones we were promised. I'll tell you that. They, and I'll tell you this, and Representative Gaetz had already said this publicly. Matt said this, that these are nothing that any of our adversaries or friends have, and we didn't have it. So it had to be something from out of that realm.
Fair to say that besides the people who we saw testify yesterday, have you been in contact with other people within the government who have shared information about this issue?
100%. And most of them are out of the government now. So,
okay.
And I've actually had congressmen tell me that they've had sightings before. They were afraid of. Some of them are very, they're very respected, high-ranking members of Congress have told me, and they wanted to remain anonymous, and I can respect that. I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything that I couldn't describe or, that would be unidentifiable. But yeah, and we're getting close to the target because that's why they're firing at us, brother. They put up every obstacle you can imagine.
Why? I mean, what are they afraid of?
I believe because it's an energy source that would put a lot of billionaires out of work. It shows no heat trail. So you don't have to be too big of a conspiracy theory to think if they have that kind of capabilities and that amount of energy, what that would do to this world. We wouldn't be in these worthless wars overseas fighting for oil. We wouldn't have to worry about poor people freezing in the winter or burning up in the summer. We could save our environment. We wouldn't have to dig anything out of the ground. We would have this energy source, and it would put the big boys out of business. So you don't have to use too much deduction to realize that they don't want this technology out, and they want to control it. We don't need to be over in the Middle East and all these other places fighting these wars. Let's protect our own country. We can get that energy right here, and this would be, and the technology too. But you got to realize, if somebody can travel light years at these speeds that we can't even, the pilot said, this is nothing we have. This is nothing we have. And it's not us, because why would we have 14 documented near misses with a $50 million aircraft and a pilot, a very intelligent man or woman flying one of those $50 million aircraft? It's ridiculous. But the energy source is the real money. And it's about power. It's about corruption. It's about money. It's about deceit. And that's what defines Washington, D.C., both parties.
No argument there. Congressman,
thank you so much, Congressman.
You for being with us.
That coming from a representative.
Yeah, he said a couple things that I really like the one where he said he would only do that because he knows where the bodies are and where the crafts are. And then the reason they're not going to come out so publicly with it is because it's a new energy source.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And think about it. A lot of the people that are in Congress or in, the what is it, the 1% or whatever it is, are oil barons or energy barons.
Or they're in big energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're digging into their bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said at the end, it comes down to money and power.
Yep. That takes some balls. And I'm impressed that it came from a Republican representative.
Yeah.
That's what impresses me most of all.
Yeah.
That all came from the right side of the aisle.
Yeah, he held nothing back in that interview, which was great. I mean, he held some things back. He didn't throw anybody under the bus, but
no.
In the same sense, he threw everybody under the bus.
He did.
You know what I mean?
He took both sides of the aisle and threw them under the bus.
Yeah.
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 I'm impressed.
Specifically named something, but he named threw everybody. And it'll be interesting to see what comes because of that. Because I've always wondered, and Mrs. Bruiser asked me last night after we were watching the news and they covered the UFO hearings and stuff like that. And she was just asking questions. And she goes, how come the three guys that were in front of Congress, she goes, how come they're still alive if they know so much? And I go, that's why they're coming public.
Hiding in plain sight.
Now if they,
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, I never thought about that. I go, they know. She goes, but don't they know too much? I go, yeah, but they're in the public now. Now if they all of a sudden go missing, I go, think about how many people wanted to come forward but couldn't. And that's why when he said they know where the bodies are, I was like, okay, yep.
Well, they're safe for now.
For now, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
They're in the public eye for right now.
Yeah, yeah. When there's such a thing as fading back into obscurity, and that's the thing that Charles Grush takes a chance at.
Yeah.
It's when you start to fade out of the public eye and people forget. And people do have short memories.
Yes.
No one's going to ask 3 to 5 years from now where Charles Grush is.
No.
Well,
unless he's somehow relevant still.
Well, see, you get one chance to be relevant. And again, I use the name Bob Lazar.
Exactly. Yes.
He was the one who was relevant, who came forward and said, yeah, I've been working on this stuff with the government for years. He was the first, as far as I know. But the most relevant because he kept himself out there the longest. And
he's still out there. He's still doing stuff.
He's still out there. A little bit quieter, but still out there. Then after Bob, David Grush isn't coming out and saying anything new. He's coming out and saying it different. In that he is the first that is supposedly beyond reproach and working inside the government.
Okay.
But it's hearsay because he hasn't seen it for himself.
Correct. And he's said that publicly.
Yeah. So but he's sitting in front of Congress. Now there's hearings. So he's gone one step further than Bob Lazar. So that's his claim to fame.
Do you think Congress will bring Bob Lazar in to get in front of them?
No.
With as much noise as he's made in the past?
No, because there are some things there that Congress can shoot holes in. So
okay.
I don't think Bob makes it to Congress.
Okay.
But there are others that could be called eventually.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends on how, this is where it gets so twisted, Bruiser. We've talked about it in the past, and I'll just recap it very briefly, and then we'll move on. It comes down to this, and I think Representative Burchett put it perfectly. Although he hinted at it. You've got Washington insiders, and you've got the people who are elected to office. You've got the career men, and you've got the ones who come in, serve, and leave. The ones who come in, serve, and leave are on the outside. As far as I'm concerned, Even Representative Burchett is an outsider. He's going to, pardon my language, kick up some shit and leave. And the people on the inside know that. They know it's just a matter of waiting out these people in Congress right now.
Okay.
So if you guys think that there's going to, the whole apple cart is going to be overturned. I almost said apple turd. The whole apple cart is going to be overturned, and it's all going to blow up, and we're all going to find out all this stuff, and the entire American public's appetite is going to be satiated over UAPs, and we're going to find it all out, and it's going to be a happy day in America. You're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, they're not going to let us know everything.
If you get to know a quarter of it, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll get enough just to whet your appetite, and then it all goes back in the box again. It'll be enough just to say, yeah, you'll get patted on the head, and that's okay, Billy. Yeah, you're right. There's some stuff out there. And now, basically, the way you can put it in layman's terms is you're hungry for a full candy bar, but they're only going to give you a fun size. That's right. Yeah, you get
and it's enough to wet your whistle.
That's right. You get the fun size Snickers, and then you can go home.
Yep.
There's an article, because of time's sake, that I'm going to post on the description of today's show. And what it is it's about what the hearings are actually all about. The article says aliens aren't visiting Earth. Is this what the government hearings are all about? Are the hearings actually to put us in a false sense of security?
Okay.
And it takes an interesting angle or slight to this. In other words, it's saying, well, these things are crashing on Earth, but they're not really visiting us, right? It's, I think, to kind of give us that false sense of security.
That nice cozy blanket.
Yeah. Because we're not getting, that these guys are landing and making agreements with us, or they're landing and attacking us, or, we're not getting the full story for a reason. We're getting it up to a certain point.
Because notice they haven't even touched abductions yet.
Right. And
you know what I mean? And that's a big part of the UAPs in discussion.
Right. And I don't think we will get that.
I don't think so either. That's part of the big Snickers bar. That's not part of the fun size.
Right. So I don't think we're getting that part of it. I think it's too scary for the American public to deal into that. And once you deal in that, it's a whole can of worms.
Yep.
And
because it goes from admitting people have been abducted, and then the American public going, well, how are you protecting us from that?
Right. And then the culpability, the responsibility of keeping the American public safe goes back on the government again. And then all of a sudden the Defense Department's overwhelmed because then they didn't do their job to keep us safe.
Yep.
And then that when we had, I'm trying to remember the name of our guest on who came on and talked about about Eisenhower, and then talked about Jackie Gleason and Nixon. Then you start talking about, well, or not Eisenhower, was it Truman? Truman or Eisenhower? I'm trying to remember which president it was. But the president who supposedly made the deal with the aliens.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about a president that willingly negotiates with an alien and makes a pact for them to supposedly do whatever they wanted.
Right.
Just because he's overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Things that all of a sudden don't make sense, that we're still holding up that end of the bargain, 70, 80 years later.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense either. So
nope.
Yeah, there's a whole thing to unravel here that I don't think Congress wants to do. So
it'll be an interesting next couple of months. How about that?
Yeah. And I think, the thing that's going to stop these hearings is going to be a presidential election. When we get into election season, these hearings are going to stop.
Yeah, because you want to focus then on the candidates and not on the actual issue. It's like every election. Whenever there's a major issue, all the issues get put aside because here are all your candidates. You need to do all your research on all these candidates, and they're going to tell you how great they are and all that.
Yeah. And no president's running on UFOs. It's just
no, there's no one going.
No.
I'm your green friendly president. I will share all the conspiracy theories and everything if you elect me president, even though that is a good way to get elected president.
Yeah. No. It'll go completely on the back burner. Everything will focus on economy and foreign countries and things like that. So you won't hear anything about this when we start getting into the election cycle.
So.
Yeah, it'll go away. Speaking of going away, it looks like that evidence that Avi Loeb found at the bottom of the ocean may be going away soon.
Really? He lost it already, huh?
No. He still has it, but scientists are disputing it left and right that Professor Loeb's claims that he found alien technology are just bunk. That's what they're saying. Last month, controversial theoretical physicist Avi Loeb made headlines yet again when he claimed that these tiny spherules or spherical objects that he found that he recovered from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean were likely alien in origin. In an interview with the New York Times, Loeb stated that they are most likely a technological gadget with artificial intelligence. Now, several scientists have challenged Loeb's assertions, with some accusing him of being, well, unscientific.
He does jump the gun a lot.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, when he's excited, he likes to throw it out there.
Yeah. Loeb's latest discovery was found by a $1.5 million expedition he led from Papua New Guinea to search for fragments of a meteor called IM-1 at a depth of 1 mile on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. The Harvard professor who famously suggested the Oumuamua interstellar object observed in 2017 was an alien spacecraft rather than a cigar-shaped space rock targeted IM-1 because he believed it was likely an interstellar object. This is down to two principal reasons. Firstly, IM-1 crashed into the Pacific at an incredible speed. And secondly, Loeb and his team performed an initial analysis on the space rock, showing it was tougher than all other 272 meteors in NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies catalog. Last month, Loeb's team dragged a magnetic sled beneath their expedition boat to collect metal from the ocean. They collected numerous tiny spherical objects called spherules, which initial analysis showed that tiny balls were composed of an unusual combination of iron, magnesium, and titanium. Loeb wrote in a Medium post shortly afterwards that this composition is anomalous compared to human-made alloys, known asteroids, and familiar astrophysical sources. In a later post, he wrote that their discovery opens a new frontier in astronomy where what lay outside the solar system is studied through a microscope rather than a telescope. In an interview with CBS News, he went on to state that the fact that IM-1 was made of materials tougher than even iron meteorites and moving faster than 95% of all stars in the vicinity of the sun suggested potentially it could be a spacecraft from another civilization or some technological gadget. Now, though, a number of scientists have countered Loeb's claims. The New York Times piece, for example, points out that Steve Desch, an astrophysicist at Arizona State University, great partying school for scientists, by the way, explained that the meteorite would have been completely incinerated entering Earth's atmosphere if it was traveling at the speed that Loeb claims. Desch went as far as saying that Loeb's comments constitute a real breakdown of the peer review process and the scientific method, and it's so demoralizing and tiring. Oh, he's just tired of the whole thing.
He is. He's just done with it.
Mm-hmm. Pete Brown, a meteor physicist at Western University in Ontario, concurred, suggesting that Loeb shouldn't make such bold proclamations during the early analysis phase. It's not uncommon for detected events to appear interstellar, at first only to be chalked up to a measurement error. When you are talking about tiny balls, you want to make sure that your measurements are, on point.
You want to get every inch you can.
That's right. Irrespective of Loeb's early assertions and the ongoing debate, the Harvard professor has sent spherule samples to Harvard University. In other words, check out my balls. The University of California, Berkeley, and the Bruiser Corporation in Germany for more in-depth analysis. Ultimately, much like those arguing against his claims, Loeb will hope that it's science that does the real talking. So there you go. Make his balls talk, science. Make his balls talk.
Grab them by the balls and make them talk.
That's right. That's how you get that job done. Let's see here. We got about, I think, 2 more stories here before we go to break. I know it's been a longer first segment, but we're into the UFO thing, so we're sliding on by with this here today. We're going to talk here about a U.S. soldier who says about alien technology, a heavy stone slab hovered in the air, talking about the experience that he had on base. A former U.S. military D.C. Long claims that the Men in Black made an attempt on his life to prevent him from talking about U.S. government ties to extraterrestrial forces. According to Long, when he served in the Army, he once got into a secret hangar and saw a strange anti-gravity experiment there. It looked like a monolithic stone slab 6 meters long, which effortlessly hovered in the air on its own.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. According to Long, in order to keep him silent about what he saw, he was tried to... That doesn't make sense. He was tried to be intimidated by both current and former military personnel associated with the secret project. And he says that once he was attacked, he was once attacked while skydiving, because of which he almost died. The sentence is...
That's a weird sentence. How do you get attacked skydiving?
I suppose somebody jumps up from above you?
I was going to say, like, that's okay.
That's some James Bond stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, attacked.
Well, so is hovering cement blocks.
I guess, right? Following David Grush's sensational claims, Long contacted ufologist Sean Ryan and told him about what he saw while he was serving with the 18th Airborne Headquarters at Fort Bragg in North California. During his service, Long traveled to North Carolina to help his father, who was a military contractor, was hired by the authorities to build a building where soldiers were trained in the use of weapons. When he arrived there, he was led by local soldiers, to the development site, passing through the secret hangar, Range 19. There, Long became an accidental eyewitness to a strange anti-gravity experiment with heavy stone slabs. I saw this giant monolithic slab just standing there, he went on to say. At first, it didn't cause any alarm. I didn't attach much importance to it. But the closer we got to it, the better I could feel its intense vibration. He saw that this monolithic, huge slab hung silently in the air with no visible means of support. And he felt a powerful energy emanating from it.
Okay.
It says here from her, but I will say it. I don't think it has a gender assignment.
It's not a female concrete slab.
Right. It was like being in a concert, he went on to say, standing next to one of the speakers penetrating your body, but without the noise. The soldiers led Long through the hangar very quickly, and soon he was at the construction site where he met his father. He was taken back about half hour later by the same route, and when they walked through the hangar again, Long now saw 3 slabs there already. Next to the first, there were 2 more of the same size. Long saw how these heavy-looking slabs were carried away without the use of special construction equipment, as if they weighed almost nothing. The very next day, after Long observed the floating stone, his father's offices were looted and his company went out of business. Long and his father were always close, but their relationship became very strained after that. When Long asked his father, "Do you think this has anything to do with the Range 19 hangar?" Long replied sharply, "Never effing mention that name to me again."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was the last time I was face to face with my father, Long said tearfully. Long's father soon died of a sudden onset of aggressive cancer, and then Long had his own chilling encounter with death. During a practice parachute jump, oh, here we go. This is how you get attacked by skydivers, I guess. Long suddenly noticed that one of the people he had seen in range 19 was among the other skydivers in the same plane with them. And when Long was already preparing to jump, this man came close to him. He winked at me, and as soon as the signal to jump was given, I felt his arm go down. I felt something hit me in the face, and it was like a static shock. This person then jumped from the plane, twisting my neck along the way.
Okay.
All right. Long lay in a coma for a month, and when he woke up, he was recognized as disabled and dismissed from the Army. For a long time, he remained silent about the experience, but then changed his mind. I can deal with the loss of my military career. I'm fine with that. I didn't think I'd be doing this forever, but I won't have people in this country just giving away their freedom and thinking the government is doing them a favor. Many other former U.S. military officers have said that they've been threatened or offered bribes to keep quiet. Stephen Greer himself claims that General Albert Stubblebine personally offered him $2 billion for cooperation with the U.S. government.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
I think I'd jump on that.
Yeah, but I don't think you get it.
You don't think so?
I think they kill you before you get it.
Maybe. On July 26, 2023, the first public UFO hearing, said will be held in U.S. Congress. That's a recap. It says we had a hell of a lot of objections to this hearing that was held the other day. There are a lot of people who don't want this to be known, says Tim Burchett, Republican congressman, who we talked about earlier. So there you go.
That's crazy. That I wonder if whatever was causing the anti-gravity is what caused his father's cancer. You know what I mean?
I take it a different way.
You take it the government gave it to him?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that the anti-gravity mechanism had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I think it was implanted in him as a result of some bad dealings with the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like a Havana syndrome effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
One more story before we go to break here. A UFO possibly traveling under cover of a storm in upstate New York. Someone claims they saw this UFO there in upstate New York. It's small, but way too quick. That's what she said.
I've been told that many, many, many times.
That's not what the X-rays say. A couple set out to record a thunderstorm in slow motion in hopes of catching a lightning strike, but instead they caught a mysterious dark object moving impossibly fast just under the clouds and think it could be a UFO. The stay-at-home mom has clearly read some criticisms of other potential UFO footage and goes out of her way to drop the recording stats, saying the footage was recorded in super slow motion at 960 frames per second. If that's the case, then the object was whizzing by ridiculously fast, possibly not even noticeable to the naked eye. There's no way to be certain what is seen in the footage, although it doesn't seem likely to be a plane. It was really recorded in super slow-mo. Part of the problem with civilian reports and sightings is that average citizens do not have the equipment to adequately capture evidence of weird things in the sky, unlike the military, who is expected to be watching for any flying crafts in the skies. There is an assumption, rather, that if there were really UFOs in the skies, then the people who monitor the skies professionally for their jobs would notice. It's now coming to light that many pilots and military members have been seeing things they can't explain in the skies, but nobody is formally collecting those reports, and there wasn't actually an official channel to report UFOs to if one was so inclined to risk the stigma. This may be changing now in the United States as elected officials are again holding hearings and passing legislation that indicates they also think there's a chance that the government, or of which they are a part, is withholding information about secret programs studying aliens and their technology. So there you go.
The only thing that I'm worried about was there's a storm happening and she's recording in super slow motion. How do we not know it's some sort of weather phenomenon? You know,
that's a good
and I haven't seen the video.
Yeah,
I'm putting that out there right now. I haven't seen the video, but how do we know it couldn't be? You know, if it's moving that fast, how do we know it's not a flash of lightning or a mixture of hail and so, you know what I mean? Like it could be something.
Right. Let me see if I can I get this to play here? Let's see. I tell you what, I will post this. I will post this story on the description of the program so that you can watch it, because it does link to the let me see if I can get this video back up and going again here. So I'm just playing this in the background for Bruiser. You tell me if you're seeing what, because she talks in the very beginning of the video.
Very attractive woman.
Yeah. Is she still talking?
Yeah, she's talking.
Oh, boy.
She's pointing.
Okay.
She's still talking.
She's still talking, huh?
Oh, whoa. Now she's really emphasizing stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Pointing at us. I'm going to point back at you, lady.
Let me see. Can I bring up her audio here and see what she's saying?
If you want to. But, it went so fast. I got that.
Okay. Now are you getting...
No, she's not there yet. She's still talking. She's really animated while she talks, too.
Dear God. I figured maybe you'd get the actual video by now.
Oh, here's the video.
Okay. Can you describe to us what you're seeing?
Clouds. Literally all I'm seeing is clouds.
Just clouds.
There's a forest on the bottom and there's clouds in the air. I don't see anything out of the usual. The TikTok symbol. A little bit of lightning. Yeah, I didn't see anything. I saw literally nothing on that video.
Literally nothing, huh?
Yeah, it looks like a storm.
Okay, well, then I take it back. I won't post it then.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth the time.
All right.
I'm sorry, listeners. It looked like a thunderstorm.
Okay. Well,
minus her animated talking in the beginning. That was entertaining. She's so animated.
She's very animated. All right. Well, then I won't waste our listeners' time then. There you go. All right. With that, we're going to take our break. When we come back, of course, we've got good old AI stories today. You guys, I will qualify it with this. I'm only going to casually mention the AI robot dog story because somebody sent me one from March. I think just because they wanted to try and freak me out. But we'll talk a little bit about old Sparky when we come back. We've also got some other AI stories for you. We've got, I tell you, Bruiser, we've got an absolutely frightening murder story, or at least attempted murder story.
In the AI section? Or
No. It has to do with a spiritual attack, though.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, so we've got that coming up. We're going to talk a little bit today about, how do I put this? It's a scam, but it has the scammers posing as God.
Oh.
Okay.
You can follow God on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know how you get away with that, but we'll tell you about it. It's an interesting little supernatural scam, if you will. And we're going to end the program today by telling you about the death of the world's oldest person.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a sad note, but it's inspiring at the same time. So that's how we're going to wrap up the program today. It's Supernatural News and Parashare on a Wednesday. Yeah, we hit you with the aliens early because it was some heavy stuff, but we're going to lighten it up here in the second half of the program. We've got that dreaded AI coming up in just a moment. Nightmare fuel after the break here on a Supernatural News Wednesday and Parashare here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. It's a Supernatural News Wednesday with the Bruiser and the Bruiser.
It wouldn't be Wednesday without us, I don't think.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a Wednesday, that's for sure.
I get a lot of listeners telling us that.
Really? That it wouldn't be a Wednesday without us?
It wouldn't be a normal Wednesday.
Aw.
We got listeners that are at work and on their drives and all that. And I know you appreciate it, and so do I.
Yeah, most definitely. Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
I'm glad we could be a part of your day and kind of entertain you.
Kind of entertain you. Want to remind you guys real quick before we launch into the second half of the program to support our sponsors, if you would. Our sponsors keep us on those Wednesdays so that you can keep hearing supernatural news. Just real quick, a couple of our sponsors that we want you to check out. Factor. We want you to check out Factor. Freshly made meals sent to your home, made by chefs. And they are delicious. Oh, are they delicious, Bruiser? Just real quick, Factor. If you go to factormeals.com/darkness50, you get 50% off your meals.
Ooh.
And this week, Bruiser, I'm just going to tease you a little bit, just real quick, because you know we love food on this program.
Yeah, look at us. Of course we love food.
Yes, sir. Cheesy bacon ranch shredded chicken.
Oh, you had me at cheesy.
Yeah, I know, right? A little bit of cilantro chicken with brown rice, black beans, and some spicy corn escape.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Getting hungry. Getting hungry.
Gotta love that. And they have different programs as well. If you're on a keto diet, you can get yourself a keto menu. Otherwise, you can go protein plus. You can go carb smart. You can get such good stuff. If you're looking to eat different in the summertime, getting into fall, if you want to look good, if you're looking to look good, getting into this last half of the year, if you just don't want to sit in front of the TV, watch football, and eat Cheetos. If you actually want to look good, start looking good by eating with Factor. Factor, again, fresh made meals, chef prepared. And man, the presentation on these is amazing.
They're great meal prep meals. That's what I love about
them. They are, and are they tasty? My God.
They're in the underwater needlepoint world. This is the place to go.
Yep.
And you know how those guys love their bodies.
And I'll tell you, folks, they have some add-ons as well, some breakfast add-ons that'll absolutely kick you in the behind.
Tell them the one that you told me off air that got us both drooling.
Oh, okay. So coming up in a couple of weeks, folks, listen to this. Okay. Strawberry cobbler pancakes. With almond oat streusel, strawberry jam, and chicken sausage. Come on! Come on! That's not even playing fair.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So again, go to factormeals.com/darkness50. Get 50% off your order. Just do that for us. That's right. The other sponsor we want to tell you about, Mint Mobile.
Good old Deadpool.
That's right. Deadpool's saving you so much money off your phone bill. It's ridiculous. Right now, $15 a month, Bruiser. And that's 5G.
That is crazy.
Isn't it, though? And the best thing, they work off of T-Mobile towers. So anywhere you're getting T-Mobile, you're getting service.
Oh, okay. T-Mobile's everywhere.
T-Mobile's everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. And how do you get Mint Mobile for $15 a month? Here's how. Mint Mobile doesn't use brick and mortar stores. It's all online. And it's so simple. You can either get an eSIM or a regular SIM card for your phone. And if you're using eSIM, I know eSIM, I saw you tense up there, but it's really easy. I use the eSIM with my iPhone.
Well, that's what we just switched to eSIMs, and it's
so easy.
Yeah, for me and Mrs. Bruiser, it was really easy. And then because my daughter's in a different state, it took a little bit longer, but it was still a very easy process. The only reason being is that she's in a different state, so it's all over online.
Yep, it's so easy, so simple. And I'll tell you what, I've been taking my iPhone everywhere with Mint Mobile. Man, the data, the to be able to I watch programs on my phone everywhere. It never skips, it never stalls, and the HD quality is so good, man. Oh, I've been like on Saturday nights. I got to tell you, we talk about the underwater needlepoint.
Oh, yeah.
AEW has Collision on Saturday night at the worst time ever because I like to go out and do stuff on Saturday nights.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but I want to take a peek at my phone, see what's going on. So I take a peek at my phone, Everything is crystal clear, HD. Oh, it looks so good on my iPhone, I'm telling you.
So you can keep up to date.
I can. I could text. I could talk. Although a lot of people don't talk on the phone these days. They think I'm weird if I call them. But yeah, texting and social media, everything. It just moves so fast right there on Mint Mobile. So we want you to give it a try. We got a special right now if you use Mint Mobile. And it's real simple. Just go to mintmobile.com/darkness. You're going to cut your wireless bill to $15 a month. Mintmobile.com/darkness. Sign up for your wireless plan. That's unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text. $15 a month, Bruiser.
Nothing wrong with that. Saving some money everywhere. Look at us.
That's right. Saving money everywhere, getting good food, getting good phone service. I'm telling you, just stick with your boys here at Darkness Radio. Oh, Bruiser. You know what?
I know what you're going to do. It's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it's nightmare fuel time, buddy. You know we do this every week.
Oh, I know. I'm not surprised. It's nightmares.
Our listeners can't leave us alone with this either, and that's okay. We don't want you to. If you have a story that you want to send to us, just send it to tim@darknessradio.com. And you can scare the pants off of us with stories like this.
I think they like seeing us scared.
I think so, yeah. By the way, check your bylines, folks, right there at the top of the page. This one sent to us by a listener about Sparky, the world's first AI-powered robotic dog with musculoskeletal limbs. Look at the sinew on Sparky as he chases you down and bites your wiener off. Yep.
And then proceeds to eat your face. See, normal puppies will wait till you're dead before they eat you. This one, just going to eat you.
Yeah. Sparky, by the way, offers open source programming capabilities and it's simple for consumers to operate with a remote controller app. Oh, sure it is. Until the app doesn't work anymore and Sparky just turns his attention on you and taking a chunk out of your ass.
Or you get that psychopathic friend that thinks it's a good joke to have the dog come up and sniff you in the crotch, and the dog's like, no, I'm just going to bite you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, where is this little sumbitch available? In case you're looking for a good prank for someone for all time. The robotic dog Sparky is available on Kickstarter, allowing consumers the chance to experience pet ownership in the future. Noted the Robotics and Automaton News Report on my doorstep every Thursday at 5:30 a.m. The Hengji Future Team, headquarters in China's Guangdong province, which I think they only named it that so you could laugh at them, is credited with designing Sparky.
Is that the name of a movie?
The Guangdong province? Yes. You only got it in the back of every video store ever in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. So, yeah, but check your bylines, folks. This came out in March. So, yeah, that's an old one.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
5 months ago.
That's a dog's age back. For
in the world of AI, that thing probably has full skin, full fur, razor sharp teeth.
That's right.
It's probably already murdered somebody.
That's right. But another story that another listener sent us is right on time. I will never, for the life of me, Bruiser, get what people see in a sexy AI automaton.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't. Social media is fawning over 19-year-old influencer Mila Sofia, but she's not real.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Mila Sofia looks like your average influencer. She's 19 years old, blonde, and has almost 100,000 followers on TikTok.
There's better things to do, man. Like, come on.
The twist is, as you're twisting your knob to her, she doesn't actually exist.
No, she doesn't.
No. Sophia may claim to be from Finland and post bikini pictures from trips to Greece and Bora Bora. But she's
what a weird country to choose.
Right?
Yeah, I chose. Like
Finland.
Finland?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think of like beautiful European women, it's usually Sweden, Switzerland,
Norway.
If I'm feeling real randy, German.
Yeah. I'm coming over there to twist your balls.
Finland?
Yeah, Finland. I suppose you want to get exotic with it. Finland.
So Finland's exotic now? I guess. When I think of exotic vacations, I don't think of Finland.
No. You don't think of the lutefisk capital of the world?
No. Is that what she's doing? She's eating a...
Yeah, she's rubbing lye-filled lutefisk all over her cleavage. I'm even making the motions for you, Bruiser.
I see that. Yeah. That's sexy. Mm-hmm. And you're real. You're not AI.
Yeah, well, it's for me to know and you to find out. I've been an automaton all this time, Bruiser. Yeah, so she's posting bikini pics from trips to Greece and Bora Bora, but she's actually a virtual influencer and fashion model generated by her artificial intelligence. Here's a quote from Sophia. Join me on this exhilarating journey as we delve into the captivating fusion of cutting-edge technology and timeless elegance. That's what her website reads.
I'll pass.
Let's embark together on an exploration of the intriguing intersection of fashion technology and boundless creativity.
Yep, still passing.
Yep. Sophia isn't new. Her first Instagram post and TikTok upload both date back to November of 2022. The content hasn't changed much, although the realism of the images has improved in recent months.
She's almost a year old.
Yeah. Look at her.
Good for everybody following a year-old AI bot.
You effing AI pedophiles. Here's the before and after and what's happened in a year. That's how she looked on the left and when she was born, and on the right after a year.
Nope. She's wearing a nice dress. Like, her dress got better.
She's got a slinky little gold number on.
She came into some money between the first picture and the second picture.
Yeah, probably about $1 billion. Whoever runs Sophia's accounts isn't trying to hide the fact that she's an AI creation. There are TikToks of Sophia and Elon Musk together. I'll show you that one in a minute. Sophia.
People got to remember, too, that it's probably a dude that invented this.
Yeah. And he's a big...
So really, you're talking to a dude. You're watching a dude.
Probably a big, hairy dude who doesn't wash his ass. I'm just saying. I had to kind of bring down the steam a little bit for some of those guys out there looking
her up.
It's a
dude in his mom's basement that has a polo shirt with a mustard stain on it, wearing Adidas tearaway pants, but the left side of the pants don't button. Because they're broken.
I got an Adidas sweatshirt. I mean, take it easy on that for a minute.
What I'm talking about, the basketball tearaway pants?
Yeah. I love my Adidas. They're very
You have the tearaway ones?
No, I don't have the pants.
I'm talking the tearaway ones where on the left side, the buttons don't snap. So it's always open.
Yeah, no, I know. But I like the clothing. It's very comfortable.
All right, we'll go with FUBU.
I have a FUBU sweatshirt. It's very old.
Pants. All right, let's go with Puma.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Puma? Okay, yeah. Puma.
Although it's very cheap at JCPenney.
That's why the guy's got them.
Okay, all right.
And he's drinking Code Red, programming this woman going, everyone's going to drool over her and want her, and I'm going to rule the world.
I'm going to rule the world with her. I'm going to put her next to Elon. They're going to have a baby.
Then he's going to go, Mom, meatloaf!
No, stat. Although if Sophia and Elon have a baby, are they going to name her why? As in, why am I bothering? Get it? It's an X joke. There are TikToks of Sophia and Elon Musk. Sophia showing off her office outfit, wearing a lace bra and a blazer.
Oh, I can't wait till I see this. Oh, I just developed the best outfit for her.
And even a post where Sophia asks, what are your favorite hashtags for searching images?
Hashtag I hate AI. Hashtag 40-something dude in his mom's basement. Wearing a polo shirt with a cheese mustard stain on it. Code Red bottles all around him.
Hashtag mom more meatloaf. The captions remind viewers the photos are synthetic images. Eagle-eyed viewers will also spot the telltale sign of AI-generated photos, which is messed up.
Desperation?
Yes, desperation, which is messed up fingers, I guess.
Oh, AI can't do fingers, huh?
No, they're like a Rob Liefeld deal. They can't do feet. Yeah.
All right.
You see if I can get the Elon.
They're losing a big client base there. The hand fetish guys.
Yeah.
And gals.
The finger fetish. Here's a quote from Sophia. I'm always on the grind, learning and evolving through fancy algorithms and data analysis. Sophia's website continues. I've got this massive knowledge base programmed into me, keeping me in the loop with the latest fashion trends, industry insights, and all the technological advancements.
And Eugene updates me daily.
He uploads me. It's
I made her say upload. Oh my gosh. Someday I can't wait to touch a real woman.
It's not clear who's running Sophia's account or what AI program created her. It's also not clear whether some of her thousands of followers fully understand that she's not real.
They don't, because there are a bunch of other Eugenes sitting in their mom's basement with cold red bottles laying around them.
Mom,
I'm going to pause my World of Warcraft.
Mom, I need juice box. Her comment section on videos and posts are filled with heart eyes emojis and compliments. Some people seem to genuinely answer her questions. Blue or pink bikini? While some act like they know her personally, posting comments like, thank you for sending me your beautiful photo to wake up to. My ketamina.
It was good seeing you. You come back around here, all right?
You ever get down my way, I'll take you out for chicken fried steak. That's my favorite. You do have teeth, don't you?
Hashtag no teeth.
No teeth AI.
What's wrong with your fingers?
Why you got them pretzely fingers?
Don't reach that with your good arm.
Don't touch my cock with your fingerly fingers there. You might break it.
And then Eugene in the basement. Oh, yes, they're fawning over her. Oh, I can't believe it.
It's a puzzling new turn in the road to AI content, futurism reporter Victor Tangerman writes. While deepfake porn has proliferated online, the allure of influencers is arguably more complex. If we follow human influencers for a parasocial taste of a glamorous lifestyle, why would we follow a bot instead is the question.
Is AI the new phone sex, do you think?
I think so, yeah. It's scary.
Yeah. Because, people thought when they called phone sex lines, it was actually a woman sitting in her bedroom in a negligee, when really it was just a woman sitting in a cubicle with a headset on reading Vogue.
Yeah. Scary. Aside from Sophia's bikini-clad picture, she's otherwise not overtly suggestive in her posts. Some virtual influencers play into this, like Luzu, who is described as an AI model and waifu and has more exaggerated features.
You know why she's not doing any sexually suggestive anything? Is because the person that designed her has never had sex before.
That could be.
So you can't program it into her.
And they draw vaginas like octopuses. Scare the hell out of all those virgins.
See, he tried to do it, but all he could get was her, instead of her playing with something, it's just an eggplant emoji.
Yeah, that's
all it is.
The hell is that? Why is there a peach there? But sex doesn't necessarily sell with AI influencers. A 2021 report found that AI-created influencer Rosie, who was created by South Korean company Sidus Studio X in August 2020, secured over 100 sponsorships and endorsements from brands during her first year of existence on Instagram. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
100 sponsorships?
Yeah. Blue Chew is number one.
Blue Chew. By the way, come back, Blue Chew.
Yeah, we had so much fun with you.
We did. Where'd you go? Blue Chew, come back.
Yeah, it hasn't been 4 hours yet. Come on, Blue Chew.
I mean, come on. I mean, do we have to become AI guys? Is that the deal? I mean, we can do AI.
I said yes to him I'm going to start an OnlyFans. That might help us get the Blue Chew back.
We could be AI Cruiser and AI Bruiser. I mean,
yeah.
These days, celebrities are sometimes withdrawn because of school violence, not school violence, but school, violence, scandals, or bullying controversies, cited CEO Baek Sung-yep said in a press release celebrating Rosie's success, virtual humans have zero scandals to worry about.
Not true, because we've already had stories about a lawyer being fired because the AI lied about trials. We've had
that was ChatGPT, not the.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
We had the AI almost rip off a 7-year-old's finger. We've had the AI
that was a robot.
Controlled by the AI, though. And then we had the AI that's racist.
Well, and again, ChatGPT.
Which is still AI.
Yeah, just saying. Rosie and Sophia also never age. Whoa.
I don't know. Man, women age like fine wine.
They do.
Like Mrs. Bruiser's, she's fine wine.
There you go. Although that's kind of sexist right there, on the AI part right there. I'm just saying.
Because they don't grow old.
Yeah, they're getting a little aged.
You know what's sexist? It's only female AI bots.
Yeah.
How come they don't have like a big beard belly, missing tooth AI bot who just gives you reviews of tools?
Yeah, with 3 inches of swinging death. Where's that guy? Where's that guy?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't have a Billy Bob out there.
Yeah, there's no Billy Bob with a
showing you how the monster trucks work or how the NASCAR results.
With a short dick and a John Deere tractor. There's no guy out there, huh? Yeah. Where's he? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where's Vinny? Vinny from New York.
Yeah. Hey,
gives you wife beater reviews.
Yeah.
Go with the Hanes.
Out there in an IROC. Just saying.
Fast and warrant.
Rosie and Sophia also never age, it says here, can go anywhere and do anything and provide their work in less time than a human would, and depending on how monetization works for virtual influencers, for much less money, they're saying. So, so that's that story there. I'm not going to get into the other specifics as far as social media and AI influencers, but that's it and that's that. Let's see here. I had a third story here, Bruiser.
Great.
I saved the creepiest for last. Imagine if you were, Bruiser. Let's rewind a little bit to your hip surgery.
Okay.
Your doc says to you, well, either I can do the surgery, or I've got these little tiny robots that are going to go in, open you up, and do it for me.
Nope. Doctor, please.
Well, the latter is soon to become the former.
Oh, no.
That's right. Little tiny robots are now going to crawl inside the human body to perform laser surgery.
No.
Scientists say they've developed fully functional miniature robots that can go deep inside the human body to perform ultra-precise laser surgery in a medical innovation similar to on-screen portrayals from science fiction. Controlled by magnetic fields, the tiny worm-like robotic surgeons were recently demonstrated traveling deeper inside a human cadaver's lungs than is possible with current state-of-the-art surgical instruments. One of the researchers behind the achievement says that there are a number of organs and systems the incredible microbots, yeah, I played with those once, the microbots, can get inside to perform similar pinpoint explorations and surgeries. In some of the more utopian science fiction of the middle 20th century, medicine has advanced to the point that nearly all diseases and ailments have a treatment, if not an outright cure. Some of these futuristic cures involve genetically engineered superdrugs, blasts of scientific-sounding rays, or even an injection of alien blood. However, seemingly the most common therapy of the future envisioned by TV writers, movie directors, and novelists involve injecting minuscule robots into the human body and letting them go to work. Now, a team of researchers says they have moved this idea from science fiction to science fact by designing the first pair of tiny surgical robots that can literally go anywhere that no surgeon has gone before. In an email to the publication The Debrief, Professor Pietro Valdastri, director of the Storm Lab and research supervisor, said that the robots themselves are made of a biocompatible plastic or silicone with magnetic particles embedded inside them. The first part is significant so the human body doesn't have a negative reaction to the otherwise foreign objects operating inside the body. However, it is the precision placement of the embedded magnet particles that allow the two worm-like robots to maneuver independently. Normally, two magnets placed closely together would attract each other, creating a challenge for the researchers. The press release announcing the breakthrough process explains. They overcome it by designing the bodies of the tentacles in a way that they can bend only in specific directions and by relocating the north and south poles in each magnetic robot tentacle. This sounds creepy.
This is going to suck when they leave one in there. 'Cause how many times do you hear about a doctor forgetting like a scalpel on somebody and like they get sick? What's going to happen with these? They're just going to eat your insides?
Well, we're about to find out. A pair of magnetic devices operating outside the human body can generate fields strong enough to cause the robots to maneuver deeper inside the lungs and even the most advanced equipment. And by moving independently, one of the robots can carry a camera to assist surgeons, while the second robot can guide a surgical laser with extreme precision. Oh, this doesn't sound good.
No, not at all.
No. When asked how a robot that is only 2 millimeters in diameter can carry a laser, Valdastri told the Debrief the source of the laser is external, but the laser light is sent to the tip of the magnetic tentacle via an optic fiber. So laser energy is delivered at the tip of the tentacle directly on the target. In a video released by researchers, the pair of miniature robots are seen navigating deep into the lungs of a human cadaver. This is significant, they note, because lung cancer that often requires surgery has the highest mortality rate of any cancer worldwide. Still, when asked by the Debrief if the miniature robots can work in other areas of the body besides the lungs, they said there were a number of biological systems that would accommodate these microsurgeons perfectly. Yikes.
This is terrifying.
Yeah. They're talking about using this for the brain, the pancreas, the bladder, and other body cavities that are accessible through a narrow lumen.
They can keep their worm away from my body cavities.
The cardiovascular system, by the way, is also another potential district of use. So they could use it on your heart. Let me see. How do they say they actually get these out? I'm just kind of trying to scan ahead and see how they get these out. It doesn't say.
So they do stay in you, and they just die off and you poop them out.
I guess. I don't know. I can't think about this anymore. We need to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to have nightmares about these things tonight. It's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be like what's his name? Who did the Sledgehammer video? I'm going to be seeing these little claymation robots up in my sphincter.
Sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm. Peter Gabriel. That's what it was. It's going to be one big Peter Gabriel video in my dreams tonight of little robots in my orifices doing surgery. Yeah. I can't handle it.
Still hot. And then you're going to poop them out.
I guess. I don't think it works that way.
I don't think so either.
No. I think they have to call him back like Rover. They have to call him by name.
I just picture the doctor sitting over you like he's texting someone while the worms are doing their thing. And it's time to get out. He puts on a catcher's glove and just starts whistling.
Okay. Come on, robot. Let's move on to another chilling story, if you will.
Okay.
Ready for this one?
Yep.
We are going to Gillespie, Illinois. I'm sorry, Carlinville, Illinois. A Gillespie man was sentenced to 60 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections for his role in the death of his mother in 2019. They're saying that he was under spiritual attack when this happened.
So is this almost like a devil made me do it situation?
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? They made a movie about it. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where they did the exorcism on the kid.
Yep.
And it went to the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He killed the landlord. Yeah.
Yeah. 39-year-old Clinton Sanders was ordered into the custody of the Illinois Department of Human Services for a period not to exceed 60 years by the Honorable Joshua A. Meyer. On May 24th, 2023, a bench trial was held in front of the Honorable Joshua A. Meyer on one count of first-degree murder. At trial, the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant had murdered his mother, Sandra Sanders. It was shown that on December 15th, 2019, a welfare check was conducted at the residence of Sanders. She was found outside of the residence, barely responsive, under a deck behind the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sandra was taken to Carlinville Area Hospital while receiving medical treatment. She identified her son, Clinton Sanders, as the individual who had harmed her. A forensic pathologist report determined that Sandra died of blunt force trauma. Gillespie Police Chief Jared DePop testified that he had made contact with Clinton on December 16th of 2019, where Clinton repeated claims that he was under spiritual attack and was making little sense. Chief DePop conducted a videotaped interview, which was admitted into evidence. In the video, Clinton was initially alone in the room, carrying on conversations as if others were there. During the interview, Clinton stated that a demonic force had taken over his body during the incident. Multiple times during the interview, Clinton directed invisible people to talk to Chief DePop. A commitment hearing was held on Wednesday, where the state proved that Clinton's mental illness posed a threat, or the threat of Clinton causing serious physical harm to himself or others. Judge Meyer ordered Mr. Sanders into the custody of the Illinois Department of Human Services for a period not to excess of 60 years from the date of the homicide, which set his maximum out date at December 16th of 2079.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it's such a fine line between mental illness and possession. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. We move on to a family's birthday party that was interrupted by a possible poltergeist.
No, the poltergeist just wants to party.
Yeah, they party all the time, just like Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
He just wanted to be part of the festivities, the family says. A poltergeist is a term for a ghostly presence that makes itself known by moving objects around. It comes from two German words, poltern, which is meant to make a disturbance, and Geist, which means ghost. Most people know this obscure term for a type of German ghost now thanks to the famous series of poltergeist movies from the 1980s. There, the creepy entities did more than stack chairs and float things around a room. They stole a little girl, Carol Ann, and the family of the home had to fight, to get her back, which is why we're a bit nervous to see the video of this particular poltergeist. We'll post it, actually, on the description of the show. Barging in on a child's birthday celebration. In this video, which portrays a rather gloomy little celebration, family members gather in a kitchen to videotape the cutting of the birthday cake, as you would normally tape. Just then, the sink turns off. Soon, everything is moving around, with drawers flying open and cabinets shaking off their hinges. Whoever is filming continues to do so, even as children scream and every human in the room starts to run.
We out. That's it. I'm gone.
Party's over, kids. Time to go home.
The poltergeist has to get up in the morning. Get out of here.
That's right. That takes some presence of mind. It says here, I think, to keep filming through all of that. Either that or they knew it was coming. After all, the initial filming was not in a good spot to get the cake or the birthday girl, but it was in perfect position to catch any shenanigans that went on with the sink. And though what happened seemed enough to terrify the small child they seemingly drag into this, the parents seem pretty calm about what is happening. The quote is, "Oh no, we should have done this at your house," one says ruefully. "Yeah, I hate it when the ghost that lives in my home causes so much damage we have to decide to have dessert at Grandpa's instead."
Wow.
That's exactly how real humans would respond to a haunting. Mostly we feel bad for the little girl. She seems truly frightened, and that's not right for anyone to do, ghost or pranksters.
If it was a hoax, those are some dick parents.
Right? Yeah. We decided.
Like, oh, we'll get little Betsy. Watch.
We decided we wanted to have a poltergeist birthday for you. Yeah, we'll post this one as well.
Honey, you wanted a surprise party.
Yeah, surprise! It's a ghostesses. This next story, there's all kinds of scams out there, Bruiser.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And people fall for all kinds of things. But if a scammer...
Wait, there isn't a Nigerian prince that wants to give me $1 million?
No, they're not.
Oh, damn it.
No. But when someone comes to you posing as God, do you really believe that one?
I don't know. God's on Twitter, so...
Well, true, but do you really believe it's God?
No, I don't. This
scammer is posing as God and asks a woman for deposits at the Bank of Heaven.
Heaven has a bank, huh?
I guess so.
So we do need money in the afterlife, huh?
I guess we do. I guess you should start saving now.
I guess so. It comes with us, huh?
Yeah. A Spanish man stands accused of taking advantage of an overly religious old woman by posing as her Lord and Savior and asking her to deposit money at his Church of Heaven.
This guy's going to hell.
He is, in a handbasket. Could you say no to God, is the question. Well, if he called you directly to ask for a favor, could you still turn him down? Esperanza, an elderly woman from León in northwestern Spain, could not refuse God when he called her on the telephone and told her to put her savings in his Church of Heaven because it offered her better interest than earthly ones. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean that.
First of all, God calling you on the cell phone. I'm sure God's going to go a different route if he wants, because they always say the Lord works in mysterious ways. A cell phone call is not a mysterious way.
Right. Hello, Estrella. Or Esperanza. I'm sorry, it's not Estrella. It's Esperanza. Esperanza, it's me, God. I got a question for you. How much your bank give you for savings?
We can give you to the 15% there.
Wow, that's generous. I'd even do it for a scam. 15%. I was going to say a 7, but because 7.
Well, we're God.
Well, 7%'s a pretty generous.
But you want to be like, wow, God is so generous.
He is a generous. 7% is a pretty generous.
Why are you Italian?
Well, because, the Vatican's in Rome.
So God's Italian?
Yeah. Plus, he's a loan shark.
A cheap one if he's only at 7.
Yeah, I got to give me one of these. There you go. So,
the Vatican's in Rome.
Yeah.
I can't argue with you either. Like, that's the whole point. I can't argue.
It's a good logic point, too.
It is.
Strong logic point, too.
Well, what's the saying? If you can't wow him with brilliance, baffle him with bullshit.
That's right. So the woman never once suspected that she was being scammed. I don't know why. She was convinced that she was a chosen of the Virgin long before receiving the call.
I want to know how many people this guy called before he got her. And, you call, hey, this is God, blah, 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 hang up. Hey, this is God, blah, 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 hang up. Hey, this is God, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're interested. Oh, okay. I have never gotten this far. All right.
So Esperanza thinks she's a chosen of the Virgin. I got to think that's the opening line of the telemarketing call.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a Esperanza? Yeah, Esperanza, this is a God. I got to tell you, you're a chosen of the Virgin. How do you know? I got a great opening introductory rate. 7% for you. 7%. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
poor lady, this poor woman.
I think that's probably the opening line. So she thinks that she's chosen of the Virgin long before receiving the call. So getting a direct call from the Almighty didn't really seem all that strange to her. Over 6 years, Esperanza followed God's instructions and deposited
6 years.
6 years. Over 6 years, Bruiser, how much did she deposit in euros in a small drawer at a local convenience store? Yeah, I know that's probably not the place where God would want you to deposit, but follow me here. How much in euros did she deposit in 6 years?
I'm going to say 300,000 euros. That's 60,000 a year, right?
Oh my God.
What, I got it?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking, because you're like 6 years, 6 times. Okay, yeah.
Yes. But yes, over 6 years, that's 50,000 euro per year.
Yeah.
Wow, how did you know that?
I was just going off of like what she probably on Social Security. She's probably making this much a year. She's, he's not telling her to tithe, so she's just giving it all to him in that little convenience store. How would you like to be that convenience store clerk where every time you open up a drawer, there's 50,000 euros in there?
Wow. So, and she was convinced the money would end up at a heavenly church.
Oh, you know how I knew? God called me too.
I guess. Just now.
Yeah.
He's like,
God called me. I said, I'm good, God. I don't need the interest rate. It's a little low for me.
It's a little low. I can't hang with 7. If you had maybe 15. Yeah.
Because, you're going to negotiate.
Yeah, you do. You really do. You're going to say 15. He's going to say 7. You'll meet at 11.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God should know how to eat, but he hung up, so.
Yeah. The victim in this bizarre case suffers from religious mystical delusions. No shit, Sean.
Yeah, really?
In 2013, she somehow became convinced that she was a saint chosen by the Virgin herself. It is believed that the scammer, the owner of a local shop who knew about the woman's beliefs, took advantage of her extreme religiousness to fill their own pockets. I have been a saint since 2013, Esperanza told reporters. On a car trip, I felt hands on my shoulders, and when I got home, they took me to the bathroom. There on the mirror...
Normally after a trip, I go to the bathroom too.
Yeah, we all do. We've been traveling for a while, so we go to the bathroom. There on the mirror, it was written in letters of blood, I am the Virgin. Here I have shed all my blood. My daughter, you are a saint. Wipe it with this sponge.
AKA it was her grandson when cleaned the freaking house.
Yeah. So when the elderly woman first received God's phone call in 2013, well, she wasn't that surprised. He told her to start depositing her money into a checking account of God at the Bank of Heaven. She was promised better interest than that offered by earthly banks, as well as the possibility to build herself a house in heaven with the money saved. Can
you imagine the teller opening that account? So, yeah, what's the name on the account? It's God. I'm sorry, what? God, G-O-D, God.
Well, actually, the name would be Esperanza. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess. You're right.
Yeah, Esperanza. Saint Esperanza. Yeah. To you. I mean,
And the only people that can access the account is who? Well, God and Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And maybe a few saints.
Yeah.
If you're sharing the wealth. Yeah. To Esperanza, this sounded like a great idea and an even better deal. So she thought she was all in. From 2013 to 2019, the elderly woman deposited all of her savings in a small drawer at a local convenience store. Nothing shady about that.
Nothing at all.
Operated by a man who now stands accused of scamming her. She used up all of her savings and took out 2 bank loans to please the Almighty.
Now, Esperanza, what do you need this bank loan for? For God. Oh, you're going to donate to your church? No, I'm giving it straight to God.
You don't understand. I'm getting a great rate here.
Yeah, like, what's your rate for this loan? Yeah, I'm beating that rate.
Yeah, I'm getting 7%. So she used up all her savings, took out 2 bank loans. No one, not even her children, knew about the deal with God. And why would you? I mean, it's between you and God. As the scammer allegedly threatened to kill her family if she told anyone.
Because that's what God would do.
Yeah, so God's like, I will smite thee.
Yeah.
If you
like
tell
when I go back and read the Bible, isn't that exactly what he told Moses?
Yeah.
You share these, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And your family.
Because you're getting such a great rate here.
Yeah.
Yeah. God is supposed to have unlimited power, so Esperanza heeded the warning. Her kids only found out about it when they learned that her savings account was empty.
That's because they hadn't been getting Christmas gifts for the last 6 years.
Yeah. The suspect in this case still insists that he is innocent, but prosecutors allegedly have evidence of him taking advantage of Esperanza by posing as God and faking his voice during phone calls with the woman. His trial has recently started, and the prosecution has asked for 8 years in prison for the defendant.
You heard who the star witness is, right?
No, who's that?
God. They're calling him to the stand.
Yeah, they have. And finally today, folks, on Supernatural News.
All right.
The world's oldest man, Jose Paulino Gomez, has died at age 127.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's old. I don't want to be that old.
Well, you know what the secret is, Bruiser?
Beer.
Yeah, a little drink.
Yep.
You put he's putting down his long life to having a little drink. And that's what it is.
The world's oldest woman, they asked her, and she says it's because she drinks beer every day.
There you go, see? Little drinky poo. Little something.
So I am going to last a long time, aren't I?
Yeah.
I mean, my first name's Beer.
Yeah. Me? I'm going to die tomorrow because
because you made your payment to God. You're good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I put my 350,000 euros in yesterday at 7%. Funny, I just had to go up to the Casey's up here and I put it in a drawer. Yeah. Funny.
And you had to give it to Jesus, the cashier.
Yeah. Who knew? I said, Jesus Christ. He said, you're close, but it goes in that drawer right over there. Yeah.
It's going to my dad, not me.
Yeah. The world's oldest man has died at age 127 in Brazil. Oh, I know what kept him alive. Yeah, it's that time of year when all the girlies in the bikinis are parading around, isn't it? They don't have Mardi Gras there. What do they call it? It's
in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's the Carnival.
Carnival. That's it. Yeah. I'd love to be 127 too.
Yeah.
He had all those.
It's weird too because he married his 27-year-old wife. There's like literally 100 year. There's like literally a century between the two of them. Yeah, you know, keeps you young. Jose Paulino Gomez, allegedly born on August 4th, 1895. He almost made it to 128. Wow.
Yeah. Leaves behind 7 children, 25 grandchildren, 42 great-grandchildren, and 11 great-great-grandchildren.
Dang.
That's a lot.
That is a ton. That family reunion is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Christmas time's got to be expensive for him. Well, it was.
Oh, unless you go to the dollar store.
Still, it's expensive.
Oh, it wouldn't cost you any more than, let's tally it up here. 25, 42 is 67 at 11, $78.
Plus his kids.
No, that's everybody.
That's everybody?
That's everybody.
Still, $78 on his pension. Because think about it, his pension, so he probably retired in like 1920 something. Mm-hmm. No, that'd make him 30. 1950 something he retired. His pension can't be that big.
Well, he married at the age of 22 in 1917.
See, look. So you go to 1950. He's in his about retirement age.
We'll figure it out here in a second.
I love how we're breaking down this guy's life.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here. He passed away on July 28th at his home in Minas Gerais, Brazil.
He died of old age?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he didn't get hit by a car. I know that much. He wasn't out driving around. He reportedly put his long life down to enjoying a little drink. That was his quote. Jose was born before the death of Queen Victoria, the Wright brothers' first flight, and the discovery of X-rays.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? According to Cartorio Silva, the Seoul Registry Office in his hometown, Pedra Bonita, Jose married in 1917 at age 22. It is presumed that he was indeed born before 1900, legal advisor William Jose Rodriguez de Souza said. If true, Jose would have been the oldest known person in the world. The current official record holder, according to the Guinness World Records, is Spain's Maria Brañas Morera, who's age 115.
That's the beer lady.
Yeah. Here in the countryside, people are usually registered when they are older. Jose's granddaughter, Elena Ferreira, told local media. There are several cases with incorrect documentation, but his documentation showed he was younger than he actually was. There was a lady nearby who was 98 years old. She says she knew him when he was just a boy. That's when we became curious to confirm his age and looked up the registry office to find out what was correct. He was definitely over 100 years old, at least 110. Now we need to know how it will be recorded on the death certificate. Elena said her grandfather was very simple and a very humble man. His uniqueness was that he didn't like anything industrialized, only things from the countryside and natural.
Okay.
Yeah. He raised chickens, pigs. His food was all from here, had to be grown or raised here. He always liked to have a little drink, she said. Fabiola Oliveira, also Jose's granddaughter, revealed that he was riding horses until 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Told you he didn't get killed by driving a car.
Well, the Queen's husband, Prince Andrew, was driving cars at 99.
See, that could have killed him.
Well, I agree. Riding a horse can kill you. Being 127 can kill you. Just getting out of bed at that point can kill you.
4 years ago, he stopped riding horses. She said for about a month he was in bed. He will leave behind many stories and memories for all of us. Jose's family says his cause of death was multiple organ failure, likely due to his old age. He was laid to rest at the Corrego dos Fialos Cemetery in Pedra Bonita on July 29th. It's not clear if Guinness World Records are looking into the claims. Oh, well, that's not really a horse. He was on a donkey. I have a picture of it right here.
That's why he's alive. He lived that long.
Yeah. See, hold on a second here. I'm going to shrink this down enough so you can see it. But he's on a donkey. He's not on a horse.
That's a burro. Yep.
Yeah, it's a burro. It's the same one his granddaughter got caught with at that bar. Just saying. So, yeah. Rest in peace to Jose Paulino Gomez. 128. I got a picture of him here having his little drink. His pants look like they're 4 sizes too big.
Oh my, he looks like death.
He looks like the Grim Reaper.
He looks like he should be sitting on someone's front porch at Halloween with a candy bowl in his lap, and you don't know if he's real or fake, and then he moves.
He looks like the Brazilian Undertaker.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrifying. He looks like the old guy from Poltergeist, but scarier.
He does. He looks like the old preacher, doesn't he?
Yeah, but scarier. Don't keep showing me.
He looks like the old preacher from Poltergeist.
What's with the Amish hat?
I don't know. Well, he's got to keep the sun out of.
Stop showing.
He's got to keep the sun off his body.
He's terrifying.
The sun would have disintegrated him.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. See, look at.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, there's a scary old man again.
Look at him again.
I see.
But he's having a drink. I figured you would have enjoyed that. I mean,
I enjoy the drink, but he's a terrifying old man.
Look at the empty eyes as he's drinking there. Look at
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Bruiser, look at me.
Like, I don't think he's seen the sun since 1917.
Bruiser.
Every time you do that, it's just his crotch getting closer to the camera. He reflects that, right?
It's like, take a look at my old cock, Bruiser.
It hasn't worked in 75 years.
That pump hasn't produced anything since 1917.
But thank God for Blue Chew.
Yeah, come back, Blue Chew. That thing's been pumping dust since the Kaiser was removed from office. Yeah. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Aw, poor little man. See, he's not scaring me anymore. I see death in his eyes, but... Jose. Oh, Jose, can you see that Bruiser is scared?
He just looks like a Halloween decoration.
He does. That is a colorful couch, so let me tell you.
Yeah, that couch is like very vibrant.
It's like he's got the, you know how when you go over to your great grandparents' house, like Jose here, and he's got like the throw blanket on the couch.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's got way too many flowers on it.
Do you think he smelled like, what type of old person do you think he smelled like? Like Bengay and Vicks? Or do you think he smelled like cough syrup or just farts?
He smelled like grave.
Because like old people have that smell, those significant smells. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he smelled like mothballs,
like grease,
mothballs, and donkey. Is what he smelled like. He is riding a donkey everywhere. He smelled like mothballs, ass, and donkey,
and death.
And death. Yeah, he smelled what
Godspeed, old man.
He smelled like what the veil smells like. He's like, stop making fun of me, Bruiser. Bruiser. Oh, look at my crotch.
He's gonna haunt my dreams.
He bangs. You're
gonna put a picture of him in the description of the show, huh?
I think I will. For the promo, I'm gonna use his picture.
Put him on the McRib with us.
Put him on the what?
Put him on the McRib with us.
Oh, yeah. Him just sipping.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he is one surly bastard, isn't he? Yeah. Now you got me saving his image.
Well, it's already saved in my head right now. Image burned in my brain.
Is that a bottle of vodka? Are you happy to see me? It's just he's got a bottle and he's just sipping out of it.
Yep.
He's those dead cold eyes staring ahead.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Like his face is pure white.
You could color balance on his face.
Exactly.
Yeah, you color balance the camera on his face.
He's as white as Marlon Brando was in Island of Dr. Moreau, and that was all like sunscreen and paint.
He makes Nosferatu look like George Hamilton.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Boy, that's an old joke. That joke is older than Jose.
That's because George Hamilton's older than Jose.
I think that's it for today. I'm tapped out. I got nothing. Anywho, folks, tomorrow on the big show, our guest is MC Henry. And no, they didn't put him in the mix. I know you're saying, hey, MC Henry, isn't he the guy with the really big pants and went from side to side and sang you can't touch this?
Can't stop this.
Yeah, you can't touch this. No, MC Henry is the author of the Illustrated Guide to Fermi's Paradox, Why We Don't Observe Alien Life Throughout the Universe.
It's a fantastic paradox.
It is. it's one of the best paradoxes ever out there.
Yes, it is.
We're bringing them in because we're going to talk a little bit more about this alien thing and the hearings we had on Capitol Hill last week about the AARO conferences and about why all of a sudden we've switched. We did a 180. Scientists used to believe that alien life didn't exist out in the universe. Why all of a sudden have we taken this turn? Why all of a sudden do we believe, not only believe, but all of a sudden all this evidence is out there that not only have aliens existed, but they've been on this planet. They keep coming to this planet. What's the big deal about aliens? We're going to explore that tomorrow with MC Henry right here on the program. So that's the big program for tomorrow.
All right. Exciting.
Yeah. Bruiser, AML Wrestling.
Yep, AML Wrestling. Come train with me. If you want to learn to be a wrestler, it's amlwrestling.com. You can watch us on Title Match Network. I'm producing shows now, but if you go to the Title Match Network for $9.99 a month, you can go in the archives if you want to see me wrestle. But yeah, that's what I guys got training. Next week's when I start back autograph signings and producing and stuff. So
there you go.
So recovery's still going good. Doing fantastic. Walking more. Back to the grind. Like, that's why I'm so tired. You got to get used to doing it again.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Want to remind you guys one more time of our sponsors, Factor. Factor. Check out factormeals.com/darkness50. Get 50% off those delicious meals. Chef made. They are chef made, heated, and ready to eat. They're fresh meals, folks. It's not anything you have to prepare. They come prepared. They are delicious. You've got some great meals waiting for you, and you sign up for them on a weekly basis. Again, stuff like cheesy bacon ranch shredded chicken, those strawberry pancakes. My God, just some of the best meals that you can get. You can sign up for different types of meals, Carb Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, whatever type of plan you want to be on. But again, freshly prepared by chefs and just awesome meal prep.
I can't wait.
And then also Mint Mobile. Check out Mint Mobile. $15 a month, unlimited talk, text, and data. And they work off of T-Mobile towers. So you're getting excellent phone service for just $15 a month. By all means, folks, sign up for it right now. Go to mintmobile.com/darkness, mintmobile.com/darkness, and sign up for the program. $15 a month for unlimited right now, but you got to hurry and do it right now. That's a limited time offer. I'm using it right now, and I'm getting great service. And
it's a great idea if you have a kid too that hasn't had a they just need their first cell phone.
Yeah.
And you can see if they're responsible enough to take care of it. You just go get them a Mint Mobile for $15 a month. That way if something happens to it, it's $15.
That's right. Mintmobile.com/darkness, $15 a month. Why not? Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Using T-Mobile towers, you're saying to yourself, how do you do it for $15 a month? Simple. No brick and mortar stores. Everything is activated. eSIM or SIM card, they mail out the stuff to you, or you activate it right over the computer, right over the internet. And I'm using, like I said, I got my phone right here, right now, using it right now, and it's so good. It's just I can't rave about it enough. It's such good service, and it's Ryan Reynolds, man.
Deadpool.
Yeah, he owns the joint, so. He's putting his name behind it, and it's not only behind it, he's putting his money behind it too. But such good service, and you're not going to be disappointed. You're absolutely going to love it. So check it out, Mint Mobile and Factor. If you're confused as to where to go after us telling you where to go with this stuff, check out darknessradioshow.com and our sponsors, and there'll be links there so you can check them out there. Again, MC Henry on the program tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a great listener. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Send your Parashare stories in to tim@darknessradio.com or go to darknessradioshow.com. Click on that blue button. Leave us a 2-minute voice note. For Beer City Bruiser, I'm Tim Dennis. Join us again tomorrow for the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.